Major Thompson, and I serve the Community Engagement Division of the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2023-2027 Kansas City Mayor and City Council Inauguration Ceremony. Thank you to our elected officials, past and present, dedicated city employees, and Kansas Cityans here today to help celebrate a new and exciting chapter for Kansas City. The new and returning leaders sworn in today will help us tackle important issues over the next 4 years, to include public safety, sustainability, transit, and housing. And they are dedicated to serve our city to the best of their ability. Today marks our continued progress toward a Kansas City that we can all be proud of. Please rise for the processional, if you are able, of the mayor and city council-elect, and continue standing for the presentation of flags by the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department and the Kansas City, Missouri Fire Department.
On to Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women, there ain't nothing gonna give me one. Gonna be standing on the corner of 12th Street and Bond. Gonna be standing on the corner of 12th Street and Bond. With my Kansas City baby and another Kansas City one. Well, I might take the train, I might take the bus, but the ground's warm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Girls Choir. They are the oldest African-American youth choral group in the region. They offer music education and performance training to our local young people. Thank you. Please continue standing as we welcome the Urban Ranger Corps to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. The Urban Ranger Corps has worked with nearly 1,000 young Kansas City men, providing paid work experience on farming and park restoration, mentorship, and leadership development.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Urban Rangers. Now, everyone, I'd like to welcome Father Luis Felipe Suarez from the Sacred Heart of Guadalupe to provide today's invocation.
The prayer from King Solomon from the Book of Wisdom. Let us pray. God of our ancestors and Lord of mercy, you have made all things by your word, and in your wisdom have established humankind to rule the creatures produced by you, and to govern the world in holiness and righteousness, and to render judgment with integrity of heart. Give us wisdom that comes from your divine throne. For we are your servants, weak and short-lived, and lacking in comprehension of judgment and of laws. Indeed, though one be perfect among mortals, if wisdom which comes from you be lacking, we will count for nothing. Now with you is wisdom, who knows your will, and was present when you made the world, who understands what is pleasing in your eyes, and what is conformable with your commands. Send her from your holy heavens, and from your glorious throne dispatch her, that she may be with us, and walk with us, that we may know what is pleasing to you. For she knows and understands all things, and will guide us prudently in our affairs, and safeguard us by her glory. Heavenly Father, give to your servant Quinton Lucas, chosen by the people of God, to be the mayor of this city, a wise heart. Give him the wisdom that only comes from you, and enlighten the city council members to make the right decisions for our city and its people. May the Lord bless our city of Kansas City, bless our people and this land. En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén.
Thank you, Father. You may be seated. I now have the pleasure of welcoming outgoing Mayor Pro Tem and 6th District Councilman Kevin McManus to share highlights of our last 4 years and provide a farewell to our exiting City Council members.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Governor Kelly, Major Thompson, City Council members-elect, and those returning, my former colleagues, our City Manager, our staff, and you, the citizens of Kansas City, I'm honored to have this opportunity to share a few farewell remarks with you today. Today marks an extraordinary moment for our local democracy and for our city. We are standing at a threshold between the past and the future. Just like the Buck O'Neill Bridge being built just north of here, this inauguration is a point, a bridge between one period of our city's history and the next. Today we bid farewell to 7 esteemed colleagues on the council, including myself. Many years of shared experiences, spirited debates, and collective achievements. Our tenure may have just been a fraction of this city's long history, but what we have accomplished together will echo forward. Just a few items of note. Under the mayor's leadership, we enacted zero-fare bus transit. We finished a brand new $1.5 billion single terminal airport. The voters, with our encouragement, approved a $125 million bond to upgrade our parks, our pools, our public spaces. Also a $50 million bond for more affordable housing in this city. Council, with leadership of my former colleagues, enacted a $30 million violence prevention fund. There is now record high investment in street servicing thanks to our staff, our members of Public Works, our city manager's office. Council enacted a new LGBTQ commission, new building construction codes, adoption of a new climate action plan, and I got my recycling card yesterday. Thank you, Public Works. We've hired the city's first ever chief equity officer, which is hard to believe, and we have now the city's most diverse leadership team in history, along with better pay and better benefits for the city's labor class of employees. And all of this while achieving a record high fund balance, a stable credit rating, and during a worldwide multi-year pandemic. These are just a few examples I mentioned not to tout our achievements, but to mention what can happen if we all work together with a collective vision and a shared commitment to our city's residents. To the incoming council members, this day marks the beginning of your journey. You can now live out your vision, display your energy, and show your commitment to serve the city of Kansas City. This journey will be both rewarding and challenging. Your ideas and efforts will be met with division, with distrust, occasionally anger, and often much negativity. But I mention this to say that you must not be deterred by that. The key to our past successes has been because of something different. It's been because leadership has begun with listening, with respect for different opinions, with having difficult conversations, and pushing together for positive change. We look forward to seeing how each of you will build upon this foundation. Kansas City is a remarkable city, and our people are our greatest assets. They deserve leaders who will champion their causes, bring forth new ideas, and face our challenges head on. So as we turn the page of this new chapter in Kansas City, we do so with hope and optimism. To the new council, I have no doubt that you will carry this torch forward. You're going to light up Kansas City through innovation, through inclusion, and good governance. And this city is ready and waiting for your leadership. To my fellow Kansas Cityans, we must continue to ask tough questions. We have to continue to contribute our ideas and our energy to the process, and to hold our new elected officials accountable. For ultimately, it is our city, and our participation is crucial to their success. So let us make this next chapter in our city's history better than the last. May we all in our own ways continue to build a Kansas City that is kinder, fairer, more just, stronger, and ever more vibrant. And so to my future colleagues, to my future council members, good luck. And to all of you, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem McManus. I am now honored to welcome Kansas Governor Laura Kelly. Sit down.
Well, thank you, Mayor Thompson. Thompson for that introduction, and good morning, everyone. You know, I am truly delighted. No, actually, I am honored to be here with you today to officially get Mayor Lucas's second term underway. You know, Quinton Lucas's decisive re-election this past June is a testament to the majority's desire for steady, responsible, and effective leadership. For tackling tough issues head-on, and doing so with a maturity that far exceeds his mere 38 years. Especially in the world of politics, where maturity doesn't necessarily come with age. I am personally grateful for Mayor Lucas's unrelenting optimism, his steadfast leadership, and his commitment to improving infrastructure, transportation, and affordable housing at a time when business is booming in the greater Kansas City region. We are in a period of unprecedented economic and job growth. The mayor has been instrumental in several of the projects that have spurred that growth, including the new terminal at KCI International Airport, the KCI Logistics Park, and the KC Metro Region's selection as a host city for the 2026 World Cup. And while I'm at it, why don't we take credit for the Chiefs Super Bowl victory? Happened under our watch. Mayor Lucas was also a crucial partner in ending the border wars between our two states in 2019. It's natural for healthy competition to arise between neighboring states when it comes to business growth and job creation. But for years, Kansas and Missouri allowed what should have been a friendly contest to spiral into something more adversarial that ended up being a hindrance to our shared goal of growing jobs in both of our states. Giving companies incentives to jump back and forth between Kansas and Missouri was a complete waste of time and money that didn't benefit either of our states. When I became governor of Kansas, one of my top priorities from day one was putting an end to this nonsense. And with the engagement of Missouri officials like Mayor Lucas and Governor Parson, who recognize that when it comes to job growth in the metro region, a win for Kansas is also a win for Missouri and vice versa. We were able to get it done. You know, that renewed spirit of cooperation and collaboration between Kansas and Missouri is a win for both states and everyone who lives in this region. You know, although that being said, Mayor Lucas, my offer to annex your fair city still stands. Y'all heard that. You know, since he took office 4 years ago, Mayor Lucas has been a champion of the people with a singular goal in mind: to get things done that benefit all the people and that puts Kansas City and this region on the map. He is a rising political star at both the state and the national level. And I think his running for a second term as mayor of his beloved hometown at a time when so many other opportunities were knocking speaks volumes about his commitment to Kansas City and the people who call it home, including his wife Catherine and their adorable 2-year-old son Bennett. Congratulations, Mayor Q, on your well-deserved re-election, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to grow the KC Metro region into an economic powerhouse and a coveted place to live. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to the Mayor.
Thank you, Governor, very much. Well, we have a special guest with us here today. She is the very first executive director for Moms Demand Action, a movement of mothers across the country fighting for gun safety and gun violence prevention. Under Angela's leadership, Moms Demand Action continues to push bipartisan policy makers to pass laws that keep families and communities safe. Please help me welcome Moms Demand Action Executive Director Angela Farrell Sabala.
Thank you so much, Major Thompson. You make me sound so good. I'm going to have to take you on the road with me, if you don't mind. Good morning, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here today with you as we swear in Gun Sense champions Mayor Lucas and members of the Kansas City City Council. But before we get started, I want to acknowledge the survivors of gun violence who have joined us today. The depth and breadth of our country's gun violence crisis has made us a nation of survivors. Survivors are the heart of the gun violence prevention movement and the ones who inspire us to keep going every single day. So thank you for your leadership, courage, and grace. We're honored to do this work with you. I'm going to pause. Thank you. Mayor Lucas, I'm here today on behalf of thousands of Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action volunteers and survivors to thank you for being an ally in the fight for gun safety. The vital work you've already done around gun violence prevention here in Kansas City is inspiring, and I have no doubt you'll continue to build on that progress as you begin this new term. Mayors and city council members play a crucial role in the fight for gun safety. So many of the policies we rely on to keep our families and communities safe are set by local leaders. And some of the most innovative ways to address this public health crisis have started right here in cities and then become a blueprint for state and federal action. Mayor Lucas has been a steadfast example of what this leadership looks like in practice. In fact, his work to keep communities safe has been so strong that we didn't just make him co-chair of Mayors Against Illegal Guns, but we named him our 2022 Local Gun Sense Lawmaker of the Year. Well deserved. Well deserved. During his first term, Mayor Lucas and Gun Sense champions on the City Council showed that they were serious about addressing this crisis, passing key ordinances to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers and protect children and teens. And he's not just innovating in the legislature. Since taking office in 2019, Mayor Lucas has proven time and time again that he's willing to put the safety of Kansas City families first. And he isn't afraid to stand up to the gun industry in the process. In 2020, Kansas City became the first city in more than a decade to sue members of the gun industry for their role in funneling illegal guns into their community. Together with Everytown Law, Kansas City filed a lawsuit against Inauguration Arms and several local gun dealers to send a clear message. Your actions fueling this gun violence crisis have consequences. And if you engage in reckless business practices, you will be held responsible. The lawsuit led one local gun dealer to close up shop and surrender his federal firearms license, while another agreed to adopt a code of conduct that would keep guns out of the hands of criminals. When Inauguration Arms attempted to avoid the lawsuit by filing for bankruptcy, Kansas City followed the company into bankruptcy court to make sure it was held accountable. Put simply, Mayor Lucas and the City Council leadership in bringing this lawsuit not only helped to combat gun trafficking here in Kansas City, it showed other cities across the country that there is a path to holding the gun industry accountable in court. This is one of the ways that Mayor Lucas has shown he's a national leader on this issue. Along with other Mayors Against Illegal Guns co-chairs, he pushed for federal legislation, federal action, helping to make the most significant federal gun legislation in a generation a reality. We also know a public health crisis as complex as gun violence needs holistic policy solutions. And it's not a coincidence that Black and brown communities that have been historically under-resourced are also the ones that are disproportionately impacted by gun violence. So I commend Mayor Lucas and members of the City Council for the work you've done to help make housing, public transportation, and life here in Kansas City fairer and more equitable. By prioritizing youth programming and community violence intervention work, you're investing in solutions that we know give people alternatives to violence. The work you've done with Partners for Peace program to support violence interrupters shows you're committed to taking a public health approach to this crisis. And that matters because we know that when people are able to meet their most basic needs and plan for their futures, we help address the root causes of violence. We know there's more work to be done because, like many cities across the country, Kansas City is experiencing unacceptable levels of gun violence. This work is challenging, but I know you'll continue to build on the progress you've made and find creative solutions that focus on violence prevention and intervention. Even in a tough political landscape, this mayor and city council have shown they won't stop fighting to save lives. We know it's going to take all of us working together to truly address this crisis. And that's where the amazing people in red shirts and the incredible community partners who are here with us today come in. It's an honor to be joined by so many of our mighty Missouri Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action volunteers and community partners. You've been crucial partners in the fight for a safer Kansas City and a safer Missouri. And I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. There's still more work to be done, of course, but it's clear that when the going gets tough, that Moms Demand Action, Missouri Moms Demand Action, and Student Demand Action, and the survivors and community partners get going. During the last legislative session, Missouri Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action volunteers succeeded in getting lawmakers to reject all gun lobby's dangerous priority bills, including a bill that would have forced guns into sensitive places, such as places of worship and public transit. They did it making themselves a continuous presence at hearings, testifying against reckless bills, and refusing to let lawmakers weaken their gun laws. In short, they rolled up their sleeves and did the heavy lifting of grassroots advocacy, and they're ready to do it again. So Mayor Lucas and members of the City Council, remember that you have these committed local gun safety advocates and community partners ready to work shoulder to shoulder with you as you tackle the crisis. Together, I know that you can accomplish incredible things. And on behalf of Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action volunteers across this country, I want to say thank you. You've led the way on so many policies that show you're addressing this crisis with the urgency that it demands. I also close by saying that I'm a lifelong organizer, so I hold the art and skill of advocacy and organizing so close to my heart because I've seen the immense power we have when we unite around a shared goal. When regular people show up day in and day out, transformative things can happen, and I know that's true here in Kansas City. So congratulations, Mayor Lucas and members of the City Council. I look forward to seeing what life-saving progress we can continue to make together. And with that, I'd like to invite Mayor Q and his beautiful family to the stage.
Thank you, Miss Angela. As Mayor Quinton Lucas takes the stage now for the oath of office, please welcome 8th Circuit Court of Appeals Judge William Dwayne Benton, who will administer the oath.
Great day. Congratulations. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Quinton Lucas,
I, Quinton Lucas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I possess all qualifications
I possess all qualifications
for the office of mayor
for the office of mayor
of the city of Kansas City.
of the city of Kansas City.
I am not subject to any disqualifications
I am not subject to any disqualifications
in the Charter of Kansas City as amended.
in the Charter of Kansas City as amended.
I will support the Constitution and laws
I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United
of
States
the United States
and of the state of Missouri.
and of the state of Missouri.
I will observe the provisions
I will observe the provisions
of the Charter of Kansas City
of the Charter of Kansas City
and the ordinances of Kansas City.
and the ordinances of Kansas City.
I will faithfully discharge
I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
as mayor of the city of Kansas City.
as mayor of the city of Kansas City.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
See you back.
now we have Mayor Quinton Lucas.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? We have surprisingly nice August weather here in Kansas City, so we are delighted to have you with us. I thank you, all of our special guests and dignitaries. It means a lot that you would spend time with us today. So in studying Angela, who you got to meet earlier today, I learned that she is a mother of 4 children. And one bit of advice that she always gave to her children was, if you ever get lost, find a mom. Angela imparted that to them growing up, but that is advice that she proves today and every day as a leader of Moms Demand Action, and as a national leader in building safer communities for all. Thank you, Angela, not just for coming to Kansas City, but for truly saving lives throughout our country. Thank you, Angela, for being with us today. To the many other mothers, from Moms Demand, from other organizations, Mothers in Charge, some who I got to visit with today, on behalf of this father, of this mayor, of this Kansas City, we appreciate you and we thank you tremendously. If you ever get lost, find a mom also has been sage advice for communities near us as they confronted challenge and opportunity over recent years. In Kansas, a mother and a grandmother rescued a declining budget, trusted public health experts, protected our neighbors during COVID-19 and us, and has brought success, optimism, and billions of dollars in investment to the Sunflower State and the Kansas City region. Governor Laura Kelly, I am so tremendously honored to call you a mentor and a friend, and we are blessed by your presence today. And if you didn't notice an odd bit of fate, the Missouri flag blocked our view of each other the entire time I said that. Missouri wanted its. Many moms here today are firsts. My sister in the collective of mayors, Tashara Jones, shines each day as a woman who has taken the mantle of a system and a city not originally built for someone like her, for someone like me, for so many in our collective communities, but as a black woman, as a mother, and as a leader. She has succeeded, and she has brought positive change in a way not seen for generations in the city of St. Louis. I ask that St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones please stand and be recognized by us all today. And the moms from our own city, serving now on City Council, represent a refreshing set of firsts. Our first council with 3 black women, featuring a black woman, Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw, as Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem-elect, stand up and get yours, too. And 5 moms total. Educators, healthcare professionals, planners, lawyers, and business people. Your insight at times we agree, but more so when we may not, will be invaluable as we chart a path for a safer and stronger city over the 4 years ahead. In 2019, obviously, I and some of us who are returning didn't know what was yet to come. I spoke then about basic services. We would focus, as was the plan, on housing, public safety, and improving other city services. And in many ways, we did. Kansas City's Affordable Housing Trust Fund is now fully funded, which is creating thousands of safe, stable, quality, and truly affordable housing units so kids and families can leave homelessness that I and too many others have known, and do what we want all kids to be able to do. Not worry while they'll sleep, how their family may get by, but instead giving kids the chance to just be children. To all the advocates, to all the electeds, to everybody on staff who played a role in getting us a fully capitalized trust fund, please stand and be recognized. We thank you for the work that you have done.
We're paying our workers more, providing long overdue support for the people who keep this city running. And yes, as was noted before, we have resurfaced 15% of the city's streets in the past several years, reversing years of underinvestment in our infrastructure. The next 4 years will bring great accomplishment to Kansas City. The opening of the first professional sports stadium purpose-built for women's sports will take place on the banks of the Missouri River in the months ahead. The eyes of the world will be on Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium in the east side of our city as we host the 2026 Soccer World Cup. And yes, Governor, we hope and pray that the Chiefs, who have been to 3 Super Bowls during our time so far, will continue to give us reason to celebrate. But in Kansas City, we recognize our many accomplishments, and I look at you, Chief Graves, our first female chief of police in the 148-year history of the Kansas City Police Department. We recognize much that we've accomplished, but we recognize also the work we have to do. So far this year, due to the work of many, shootings, non-fatal shootings, are actually down by 6%, reversing a years-long trend. But all the while, homicides are up dramatically. And in Kansas City, I say clearly and unambiguously, guns and ammunition being given to minors, guns in the hands of the wrong people, guns modified to be more potent than Prohibition-era machine guns are the problem and are killing our community. That's why we are introducing this week new legislation drafted to avoid Missouri's preemption laws that will outlaw the distribution of ammunition to minors without parental consent, that will outlaw the possession and sale of components like handgun switches that turn handguns into fully automatic weapons that have sprayed too many clubs, our parks, our streets with hundreds of rounds of bullets and increasingly outgun our police officers who are responding to emergencies. We know, however, that gun laws alone cannot solve the epidemic. Led by Mayor Pro Tem Designate Park Shaw, Councilwoman Melissa Robinson, and the majority of my colleagues on the last council, the city has made a transformative investment in violence prevention, spending millions in recognition that jobs, mentorship, health care, and hope are important to reversing a generational concern in our community, and in many ways more important than any legal prohibitions can accomplish. I grew up with my big sister here in Kansas City, Trina, loving Mayor Cleaver's Night Hoops program. And we're proud to have it back and to be building even more efforts to provide year-round engagement and support for our children with Parks and Recreation and support from our Violence Prevention Fund. But to build stability in young people's lives, we also need to ensure they have safe and stable places to sleep. I have been blessed immensely, but I still have never forgotten late motel room nights, completing homework assignments in the bathroom, as to not wake up family in the adjoining one room at the motel. And many had it worse than me, and many today have it worse, but I still don't wish that on anyone. That's why we are committed as a city to producing at least 8,000 units of affordable housing from our Housing Trust Fund and strategic economic development investments over the next 4 years. And housing will not just be in apartment communities. We are paving the way for thousands of vacant land bank single-family homes to be renovated and improved. And of course, as we talk about housing, we recognize that once and for all, we need to ban source of income discrimination in housing to ensure that more low-income Kansas Cityans can access housing opportunity. No matter how you lawfully pay your bills or your rent, whether it's through housing vouchers, government assistance, or anything under the sun, you should not be denied a place to stay. And last year, we created a plan to end homelessness in Kansas City, and today, we are issuing a request for proposals to create our city's first low-barrier shelter, equipped with case managers to provide wraparound services to support those who need assistance obtaining employment, mental health and other health care support, and permanent housing. We're doing this work while we continue to deliver basic services to our residents. And I could not be more grateful for the women and men who put on uniforms for our city or come into our buildings each day. We are proud over the last 4 years to have passed pay increases, but we know more is due. Better compensation, support for daycare and early childhood care, particularly in the core of our city, and more respect. At a time when some see labor as a commodity, we see you and your value and will stand against outsourcing. We will stand for fair wages. We will stand for prevailing wage on city projects, and we will continue to, as long as it is permissible, to use affirmative action to ensure in the workplace that those who have been long denied an opportunity in our city to get a fair chance for fair work are able to get work on projects that this city takes on. And opportunity in Kansas City means opportunity for all. No legislature in Jefferson City or Topeka or Washington can deny you your humanity, your love, and Kansas City's support for you living the very best life you can build. When we say all are welcome here, we mean all. All of your authentic selves, all of you are welcome. Kansas City is a city for all, and it has rich cultures. So we are committed to removing barriers to success and call on our federal partners to expedite the approval of work permits so even new Americans have the opportunity to get work to build a long and stable life here in Kansas City. And I want to particularly thank my friends at places like Del Lam and JDS for their work in making sure that we have more resources in this city. So one of the positives of having moved a lot in Kansas City growing up is that there's a story that I have for just about every neighborhood in Kansas City. So for a while in the 1990s, I lived in what was then called President Gardens. They had a new name. Some of the same challenges might persist. But I remember a positive setting in many ways. There was a barber shop up the street, a Jamaican restaurant up the street, and there was this wonderfully maintained at the time track right down the hill. And my mom wanted to make sure I became something useful during the summers. So she made me go out down to the track and take part in a summer track program. She got me enrolled at the program, and this is about at 83rd and Truce. My memories had faded somewhat, but all I remember basically was that every day it was about 99 degrees outside. There was no tree, there was no breeze, and I had this coach who was yelling at me all the time. A man named Ken Ferguson, taught UMKC Law School, and he would belt out these instructions and say, accelerate, accelerate, and run out if you're doing something wrong and say, Lucas, stop working on your mental toughness. So I came home each day after practice. I was sore, I was tired, and my mother would never let me give up. And each day on the track, a new obstacle would come up. A sore muscle, a strong competitor, and for any of you who've ever competed in sports, you know, when you kind of scrawny at age 12 or something, somebody else comes up and looks like an Olympian, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to beat him. But I kept going back. And I asked my mom, can I ever go do something else? She said, you go right back out there. And I'd go back on that track, and I would hear accelerate, accelerate. And just somehow it always got hotter, but I was still there. Over the past 4 years in Kansas City, through COVID-19, through protests, through challenges ranging from homicides to how we can take care of our workers, I heard that voice again, that accelerate, accelerate. And I knew there was someone back home who was cheering me on along the way. Well, today, Kansas City, I thank you for all of these mothers' voices. Angela, Governor, Councilwomen, Quincy, my mother, Catherine, and so many more. You have kept this city moving through triumph and tragedy. You continue to push this city forward. And as I stand before you today, I know that we can be one of the greatest cities in the world. We can be a model of how we treat our unhoused sisters and brothers. We can be a model of how we treat our workers. We can be a model of the fact that life is not either or. Solutions to public safety take prevention, they take intervention, they take enforcement, but more than anything, they take all of us working together. And we can know that we can be in the heart of America, but we can lead with our hearts. I look forward to 4 more years of us uplifting our communities, 4 more years of us building a stronger city for all, and 4 more years, more than anything, of how we can accelerate and accelerate. God bless you, Kansas City. Thank you, Kansas City. And let's have an amazing 4 years ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Lucas. And thank you to all the mothers. And now, Ladies and gentlemen, our 2023-2027 City Council will take the oath of office. Please welcome U.S. District Court Judge Stephen Boo to administer the oath to the City Council.
Thank you, Adrian. Good morning. And in order of my least favorite, Kevin, to my most favorite, please make your way to the stage as I call your name. First District at Large, Councilman Kevin O'Neill. First District Councilman Nathan Love. Second District at Large, Councilwoman Lindsay Fritsch. Second District Councilman Wes Rogers. Third District at Large, Councilwoman Melissa Patterson Hasley. Third District Councilwoman Melissa Robertson. Fourth District at Large, Councilman Krista Red. Fourth District Councilman Eric Bunch. Fifth District at Large, Councilman Darrell Girls. Mayor Pro Tem and 5th District Councilwoman, the first African American woman, Mayor Pro Tem, Lena Parks Shaw. 6th District Councilman, Jonathan Duncan. And Finance Chairwoman, 6th District at Large Councilwoman, mother to 2 wonderful children, and the woman who I'm celebrating my 31st anniversary with today, Councilwoman Andrea Booth. There are some benefits to lifetime appointments. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications of the office of council member required by the Charter of Kansas City, Missouri, adopted by the vote of the people of said city, and all subsequent amendments thereto, and am not subject to any disqualifications in said charter named, and that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of the state of Missouri, and that I will observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances of Kansas City, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office. So help me God. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and thank you again, Judge Boo. Can we give him another round of applause for our City Council? All right. And as many Protestant pastors say, I'm not going to keep you long. We're almost done. Please welcome Pastor John Jones from Highland Missionary Baptist Church to the stage for the benediction.
As great as it has been, for everything there is a beginning, for every memory there is a dream ahead. As we conclude this inauguration ceremony, may we forever be in awe of all that has happened in our lives to be here right now. May we walk the walk of compassion and bring compassion to the center of our lives. May we cultivate the capacity to see the humanity and the dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all people, no matter how different, with the reverence they deserve. May we live a purpose better than ourselves, understanding that when we do, you and I will begin to transcend our limitation and discover ourselves to be far greater than we have ever imagined. May we recognize our lives will be measured not by the title that we carry, but by the number of hearts we heal and by the lives we transform. May we be vigilant, such as in our toil and labor of service. Our hearts don't become hardened, our eyes don't become blind, that we don't forget where we came from, nor neglect those we are meant to serve. May we realize that change doesn't magically happen, that everything worthy requires effort and sacrifice, that in order to accomplish things that we've never accomplished, to become people we've never been, we must make sacrifices. We never made, and we must do things that we have never undertaken. May we always be mindful that the thoughts we dwell on becomes us, and that everything you and I put out into the world is going to come back. Indeed, what you do unto us, it will be done unto you even more. It's already done. May we walk away from this gathering determined to find ways to inspire life, absorb the inspiration of others, and become an inspiration. May we all walk away with the will and courage to move beyond ourselves and leave our noble mark on our beloved community, city, nation, and all of the earth. And now may the grace of God and the sweet communion of His Holy Spirit rest, rule, and abide henceforth, now, and forevermore. Go in peace. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Jones. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the new and returning leaders of our community. Kansas City's future is bright. We would love for you to please join us for a reception here in the park. City Council, however, we ask that you remain to come on stage and sign your oaths. Did you know that Betty Ray's is providing a free ice cream scoop? Please enjoy. Please also support the local food trucks on 10th Street between Oak and Locust. They will be here around the area until 2 p.m. today. Thank you again for this amazing opportunity to be before you today. God bless. Have a wonderful day.